Hello guys, I'm Joseph Brandcamp and this is Average Joe Dividend Stocks. So I haven't made a video in a long time. I've been very busy with my other YouTube channel. It's my family channel. It's me and my kids, their sports, all that good stuff. But as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to talk about how I went from $0 to 100,000 by the time I was 30. And it could have potentially been a way more than that. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But all right, so let's talk about the most important thing. Most important thing, in my $100,000 is my 401k. So I started my 401k roughly 6 months after I started working at the plant that I'm working at, and so I'll be there 12 years in April. So I'll have about 11 and a half years putting in my 401k. So like your 401k is invested in the market and stuff. So like the more money you get in it, the bigger it's gonna grow and grow over time. And also when the market's down, the bigger it drops. But I learned my lesson early in my 401k. Like I think it was 2012 or 2011, the market dropped and I had no clue what I was doing. I freaked out. I put everything in the stable fund. Then when the market came back up, I moved everything back out of the stable fund. But really, I should have just kept buying the whole time, because then I would have got everything for cheaper than what it's worth now, and I would have grew my money that much more. So that was a valuable lesson that I learned on my own right there. So like the crash in last March that happened, you know, I left all my money in my 401k. I kept buying it like normal. It's in my age fund, which is under 35, so it's the highest risk that it automatically invests for you. You can go riskier if you want, but I just leave it in the age fund, and it's under 35. So I made a lot of money, which this graph I'm about to show you, you'll see in March when the market crashed. That's where I made a lot of money. And in my new thing that I've been doing, I've been investing in stocks for a little bit less than 2 years. It's almost been 2 full years I've been investing in stocks. So we'll get to that later. But in March when it crashed, I left my retirement the same, and then you know it came back stronger than ever. So now you'll see on this graph how it dips down around March, and then it just spikes way up because I got all those shares for way cheaper and all that good stuff. But so my 401k is where most of my money is. I got like a little over 91,000 right now, and in my 401k. And then what I'm talking about, the 6 figures, the $100,000, we got to add in my stocks. So my stocks are right at 13,000. They're just under $13,000, which the market's been bad this week. It was at like 13,400, but the market's down right now. But it's all good. I'm a long-term investor. I don't pay attention to that stuff. So like now I can buy stocks for cheaper than what I could just buy them last week. So they'll eventually go back up. But all right, so we'll take a look at that graph right now on my 401k. All right, that was the graph of my 401k. I only went back to January 2019. You could see that I almost pretty much doubled my money since January 2019 in my 401k, because the more money you get in it, the more it's going to grow faster. But also, whenever the market crashes, you're going to see that big dip. But I advise you on not moving your stuff to the stable fund. That's the wrong move. I did it before, and you want to just keep buying, because you're never going to guess when the bottom is. You might try to sell it out at the top and then buy back in at the bottom, but you can't predict what the market's going to do. So just leave it there, keep buying like normal, and it'll grow that much more. Now we'll get into the stocks. So I have about $13,000 in stocks. I started buying stocks a little less than 2 years ago. I started out with $5,000. I made a bunch of mistakes in the beginning, just filling it out, learning, trying to get rich quick, and I found out quick that's not the way you do stocks. I do stocks long term, and I mainly buy dividend stocks. So dividend, they pay you a dividend every quarter usually. Some pay you once a year, some pay you every month, but the ones I buy, they're all every quarter. So when they do their quarter earnings, they'll announce their dividend and they'll pay it. But I do mainly that just so my money will grow. My biggest investment is Apple. It's been my best investment so far. And then my worst investment so far is that I still have is Carnival Cruise Line. I started buying it before the market crashed, and then of course, you know, cruise ships, coronavirus, they can't really do much. So I still have the shares. I actually been buying more lately just to bring my cost basis down. They're about to start making money again, so I figure their stock will go back up. It was like in the 60s before the crash, and then it got all the way down to like $8 a share, which I know a bunch of people that made money off of that when it was down to 8. Now it's at 18 today, but it was just in the 20s, like 22, and my cost basis right now is like 24. So I've been bringing the cost basis down. Hopefully they'll start paying dividends again one of these days. I have about a half a free share on that. But that's how I went from 0 to 100,000. So when I started working, I went to work straight out of high school. I didn't really have anything. I was living with my ex-girlfriend at the time. I moved in with her, started working at Tyson's at 18 years old. Then I moved to my brother Ricky's, and then I ended up getting married. Then I had to start renting a house. Then we bought this house. So I've almost had this house for 9 years. It'll be 9 years in March. So technically, I'm worth more money than what I'm saying because my house, but I don't count it because I still owe money on it. I feel like, you know, the house isn't mine because I still owe money, but we bought it for less than what it's worth. And now the house is worth more now because we have a neighbor now that built a brand new house next to us, brought our property value up. And then like I've been paying on it for 9 years. But like I said, I don't really count that as my net worth, just because I'm still paying on it. You never know what's going to happen in the future and all that good stuff. But yeah. All right, let's talk about the stocks. The stocks, I made a bunch of money off of that in March. So like I said, I started out with $5,000, started investing in stuff, just playing around, trying to figure it out. And when the market crashed in March, I was all the way down to, I want to say $3,700 in there. But I didn't sell none of my stuff. If I'd have sold it, it would have sold all at a loss. I just bought more. And then as the market was coming up, I got my stimulus check. I kind of wish I would have got it a little earlier because then I would have made a lot more money. But as it was coming back up, I got my stimulus check and I put $1,200 into my stock account. And that's where I made most of my money off the stock when everything came back up. Like I bought stocks like Whirlpool, I got some Qualcomm, and those stocks are doing really good for me. I wish I could have bought more. I wish I could have got some Disney. There's all kinds of stocks. They were all down like 70%. It was like the biggest stock sell ever. So, but I kept all the other ones like Apple and all that stuff, and they all came back higher. I actually bought a couple Apple too, and then like, man, the crash is where I made most of my money off. I was buying, it's kind of like Warren Buffett said, you buy when everybody else is selling and you sell when everybody else is buying. But I was lucky enough to get that stimulus check, invest it. That's where I made most of my money off my stocks. But like, I wish I would have been investing in stocks the whole time. Back when I first started at Tyson's, I think Tyson stocks was between $4 to $6 a share. And the last time I looked at it, it was around $65 a share. It might be lower now. I haven't looked at it in a couple weeks, and I know the market's down. But it was all the way up in the 90s at one point, which I sold some of them. But I don't count my Tyson stocks to my net worth either because I use those stocks that they match me a quarter per dollar. But I use those stocks just for like vacation or maybe in case of emergency. Or as of right now, I've just been using them for vacation. But it could be emergency, help pay off some stuff like that. So I don't count that as in there. But I got about 30 shares of it right now. And I mean, it sounds like we'll probably go to Mexico again in December, so that's what I'll probably sell those stocks for. Just a family vacation, make sure we got plenty of money for it, and so we can enjoy ourselves and not worry about stressing out about bills when we get back. But yeah, I got all that. I started investing in the Tyson stocks first. That's what got me all into the stocks, because I started investing in Tyson stocks and it went all the way up in the 90s, and I realized how much money I could actually make off of stocks. I just wish I would have did it sooner. I wish I would have known. I wish somebody would have told me about stocks, because my net worth could be way more than 100,000 easily if I'd have known about stocks back when I first started working. I just had the 401k. They told us about that at work, and I did that. I mean, everybody always talked about Tyson stock, but I didn't trust stocks. I didn't know about them. And then, like, I seen how much money I could actually make off of them. Start buying them first. Then I took $5,000 and started investing in regular stocks, and that's how I got to 100,000 by the age of 30. But it could be a lot more. So if you know any young people, I try to talk to young people all the time that start working out at Tyson's, like all the time. Hey, you need to get 401k. Hey, you need to think about buying stocks, all that good stuff. And like, my kids, whenever they get to that age, they're already going to be investing. You know, whenever they start getting money, they want to save it. I'm going to be like, hey, I'll start you a stock account, and, you know, I'll teach them how to invest, and, you know, I'll give them the knowledge that I've learned on my own. I did a lot of studying on YouTube. There's some great guys out there to watch about stocks, but like, it's very important to teach the young people how to invest their money to grow. So, you know, we've always been stuck in the middle class, and I'm trying to get out of it. My next goal is $250,000. That's my big goal. And that might take a hit whenever, because I plan on not retiring at Tyson's anymore. The ultimate plan was to retire there, put as much in my 401k as I could, but now that's not the ultimate goal. My family YouTube channel, I've been focusing really hard on that. I got a little over 850 subscribers, but I'm just trying to grow that. And, you know, there would be nothing better than to get paid by YouTube and be able to stay at home with my kids 24/7. Like, we go do whatever we want. We want to go on a bike ride. Like the other day, we had a snow day. I'm on vacation at work. Snow, school got canceled. We played in the snow all day. Just nothing but good time and good memories. And that's what I want. I want to be able to sit at home and enjoy my family. They're getting older, you know. They're already 8, 7, and 6, and all their birthdays are coming up. So they're about to be 9, 8, and 7, and I miss out on a lot just because I have to go to work 11 hours a day. So I really love to enjoy being with my family all the time, be able to do fun stuff while they're young. You know, eventually they're going to get older, not want to hang out with me when they're teenagers. They'll be too cool for me, but it's all good. I want to enjoy it now, so that's why I've been pushing so hard at my YouTube channel, on my family channel. But thank you guys. Have a good day. Y'all take it easy and tell the young people to invest, please.